Perfect conditions Sunday if you're a kicker. Greg the Leg's distance is what?
68 yards.
Welcome to the 2-minute drill presented by HCL Tech. Jets Vikings in Week 13 in Minnesota. The Jets are playing meaningful football games in December, and it starts against the 9-2 Vikings.
4 of the final 6 Jets games will be on the road. This starts a 2-week stretch away from home because after the Vikings, the Jets will take on the Buffalo Bills in that rematch in Orchard Park. But first things first, you're talking about a Minnesota Vikings team that can clinch the NFC North with a win over the Jets and a loss by the Lions. They have 8 one-score wins this year. Both teams have thrived late. You're talking about a Jets team number 1 in scoring differential in the fourth quarter, plus 51, but the Vikings right behind with a plus 50 margin in the final quarter. They have just gotten it done when the game has been on the line. The Jets coming off a big win over the Chicago Bears. They're in a crowded house inside the AFC East. They need a win to keep pace.
And also, if we're talking about a strength-on-strength matchup, the Vikings offense, the Jets defense hasn't allowed a second-half offensive touchdown in 5 games this year, including last week against the Bears. And this Vikings offense, they have a lot of very good players all around. It starts with Justin Jefferson.
It's strength versus strength. You're looking at a Jets defense over the course of the last 10 weeks who leads the NFL in scoring points allowed. They are getting after people. They're going to be facing the Minnesota Vikings team who can get it done through the air. Kirk Cousins completing 65% of his passes. You can make the argument, and I think many people would, Justin Jefferson, the top receiver in all football. He's got 1,232 yards receiving. That's 1 yard shy of Tyreek Hill. But he won't be matched up with Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed on the outside. The Jets rookie cornerback, he leads the NFL pass defense with 14. And listen, if the Jets can make Kirk Cousins hitch in the secondary with sticky coverage against Jefferson, Thielen, Hawkinson and company, they're going to get home against Cousins. They got to make them uncomfortable on Sunday.
And of course, the Vikings have a very good running back in Dalvin Cook. And the big injury for the Vikings, if he does or does not play, that's Christian Darrisaw, the second-year left tackle. Something to keep in mind heading into Sunday's matchup. But for the Jets offense, last week against the Bears, Mike White had a phenomenal game. He and Kirk Cousins are 2 of 7 NFL quarterbacks in history to throw for at least 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 of their first 4 starts in the NFL. Mike White did that last week.
Yep.
Now going up against the Vikings defense that statistically is not very good.
No, 32nd against the pass in terms of yards per play. They give up yards. They give up points. The Jets offensively, you want to be balanced. Mike White got it going through the air last week, throwing for more than 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the Jets rushed the football. In the Vikings' 2 losses this year, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys pounded the rock. It's going to be interesting to see what the Jets have in the offensive backfield. Last week, Bam Knight was an unlikely hero, being activated on Saturday, totaling more than 100 yards from scrimmage, becoming the first rookie in a Jets uniform to do that in his first game since 1970. And of course, he paired up with Ty Johnson. We'll have to see the status of Michael Carter this week. But for the Jets, just watch Mike White operate. He's going to be quick. He's going to have command of the huddle. And 2 guys to keep your eye on. Garrett Wilson, 2 touchdowns last week. We saw Elijah Moore get going. And I'll add a third. Tyler Conklin, the former Minnesota Viking, going back to the Dome.
Jets Vikings, Week 13, December football starts this Sunday in Minnesota.